just a piece of fabric. How could cloth carry so much hope, anger, pain, pride, politics, sacrifice, security, defiance, independence? It is because these objects, flags, face masks, have become symbols in the truest sense of the word. The word symbol is a combination of two Greek words, syn and bello, to throw together. And flags, and even, yes, now face masks, throw together, much like our Lutheran understanding of a sacrament, a physical element. For Lutherans, our sacraments are communion with its bread and wine and baptism with water. But now, these symbols, flag, mask, fabric. Now, of course, Jesus didn't command us to wave flags, even the so-called Christian flag. Nor is there, despite the meme generators out there, a Bible passage or something commanding us from Jesus to wear our masks. But getting back to the symbols, you see, a symbol is powerful in that it is never independent. It's never completely objective. It's not completely free. It's not standing on its own, declaring one message above all others. What is thrown together with that piece of cloth is meaning, interpretation, messages. Symbols are multivalent in that there are multiple interpretations, and it is so subject to perception. For example, this picture I took of a street, it's just 2 blocks from my house, and somebody, workers or volunteers, came through and placed these little flags at every house in St. Francis. Now, to some, this picture brings comfort and pride in our country. But to me, a person of German heritage, steeped in the reality, the history, the dangers of nationalism and militarism, this picture, this reality, frankly makes me feel uncomfortable. I cannot look at these simple pieces of fabric without a visceral discomfort arising from my personal cultural history and a sincere belief that democracy and civil rights for all that we have are both tenuous and flawed in this country. How people will sacrifice others for security, for comfort, normalcy, and evidently for a beer at the bar. How shocking, I hope it is then, for us to read God's word for us today. How incongruous. Lo, your king comes to you, triumphant and victorious is he. And we expect some display of power and might, chariots, proud steeds, fireworks, tanks, soaring anthems. And instead, the prophet Zechariah says, humble and riding on a donkey, on a colt, the foal of a donkey. As Jesus shows us in his symbolic ride into Jerusalem, echoing and amplifying these words, salvation doesn't bring pride, but humility, not military might, but service and caring, not hate, but love. The one we follow and we celebrate doesn't declare our independence, but instead dependence. Come to me, he says. Yoke yourself with me. Share your burdens, shared purpose, shared pain, shared life. Unfortunately, one of our political parties has already adopted the donkey as its symbol. And I say unfortunately because I suggest that perhaps this lowly animal, a true beast of burden, a donkey, is a truly underutilized symbol of our faith. I know it may sound bizarre, but perhaps this week, join me in imaging, symbolizing, meditating on, contemplating on our faith in that way as a donkey. Ask yourself, how are you yoking? How are you tying yourself to others? How are you sharing your burdens and sharing others? How are you carrying our strong, humble, and compassionate Messiah with you wherever you go? How are you a symbol? Your flesh and your bone, your words, your human life thrown together with sacred spirit. And how do you transport and transmit God's way in this world? Amen.